Weekly therapy session number 47, going live in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Scarf Bergara War, the podcast and live stream for county fans by county fans. Well, this time last week we were talking off the pitch stuff with Steve Bellis. 7 days on, we find ourselves a Simon Light, just the one, unfortunately. But you can't have it all, can you? I'm Nick Lee here with you for the next hour. With me, of course, is everyone's favourite Russ. And I tell you what, I'm glad we're not going to have any more Rusk and Russ mix-ups. So it's good. He should have been sacked just for that. It's Russ Johnson.
How are you? Okay?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
I'm going to start with a confession.
Not got much to talk about this week, have we?
Yeah, well, yeah, nothing. I didn't go last night. I'm gonna just get that out there straight away. I thought I've not seen, because me and the missus have been dead busy, barely seen each of the last few weeks. I thought, you know what, I'll use that 18 quid and I'll take my missus out for some food. So I did that, and you always know what you're getting with Greggs, don't you? So
you do.
But yeah, so I managed to catch the commentary and stuff. Yeah, it's very exciting, wasn't it?
Good stuff. Do you know? I think you're a few seconds behind. I don't know if it's me or you, but I think you're lagging.
I don't know what to tell you, mate.
I don't know either. Should we just crack on and see how it goes?
Who have we got on tonight,
yeah,
mate?
Okay. Right, okay. This is going to be fun. Okay, so we've got on tonight. We've got James McCracken as the fan guest. We'll get him out in a second. We're obviously going to talk about Bellis that was on last week, and we're obviously going to talk about the Notts County match and last night's Barnet game. I guess the main thing we're going to talk about is who's going to be the new manager of Stockport County. So, without further ado, let's get James out.
Hello.
How do you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you.
Good. You see, he's not lagging. See, James isn't lagging. It must be your internet there in Stretford or wherever it is you are.
Stretford? I'm not that far out, mate. You're taking these United mentions to a new level, aren't you now, Russ?
So good to have you here with us, James. It's a pretty good podcast to be on, to be fair, isn't it? You know,
They've chosen well, haven't they, to be fair?
You have. So yeah, let's should we run titles and get into it? Let's do that. This is the Scarf Bergara War, a Stockport County fan-created podcast, blog, YouTube live show and website. Find us at thescarfbergarawar.co.uk. For county fans, by county fans. There we go. And if you are listening or watching, then please do comment about who you think the next manager is going to be. Just to say hello to Ian, regular listener, PJRC, another regular listener. We've got your comments in. Do get those comments in, and any sensible ones we will read out. Or if they're just if they're in keeping with what we're trying to talk about, I guess we'll read them out as well, won't we?
Well, it's funny you should mention sensible ones, because this is something I wanted to bring up before we get too deep into stuff. I've seen some of the names people are saying as manager. I'm just gonna read some of them out. I don't think I need to add anything to them. I'll just read them out and we'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Chris Wilder, Tony Pulis, Sol Campbell, Stevie Bruce, Paul Cook, Eddie Howe, Mark Hughes, Chris Coleman, Big Sam, which kind of got me thinking. got me thinking of it, didn't it? We didn't start the fire, did it? We didn't start the fire with county managers, finally. Oh, my afternoon's not been wasted at all, has it? The missus walked in, she's like, what's that xylophone doing out? Whoa, you're in for a treat, love. You're in for a treat. She wasn't bothered. She was slightly less bothered than you two were.
Well, sorry, did our faces say it all then? I'm curious about the xylophone. Obviously, the managerial debate about county is not important. Where did you get that xylophone from? Is that just lying around in your house? Is that like an ornament?
Yeah, it's in the spare bedroom. Yeah. It's my missus is a big charity shop fan, so she'll pick up little things. I've got a ukulele in there, so stay tuned for next week.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Going to come on next week as well.
Yeah. We'll do Deliverance.
Yeah. So I guess this week it's all about Rusk. It's all about the manager. Anything else probably just pales. We'll cover other stuff in other episodes. So welcome James to the Rusk episode or the manager episode. First thing I'll ask you, James. What did you make of all that? Was it time for you? Was it time to go, or did you still have your light on?
Yeah, I think, you know what, I'm really disappointed. I think when we appointed Rusk, I was quite excited. I think my mate's a big Brighton fan, someone I went to uni with, so he was raving about him and said he'd be a great manager for us, and I was quite excited because he's done some good stuff at Brighton, but it's obviously not worked out well. And you know, I'm not one for calling the manager, but I think after last night, I was kind of, in a way, pleased we did lose last night. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I think if we had won, it'd have just like delayed the inevitable, really. I mean, we were absolutely dreadful, weren't we, last night? And I think after that, it was untenable for him. So, right decision from the club today, I think.
Yeah. I know, Nick, you didn't go to Saturday or last night, but Saturday, I think, I don't know, we haven't spoken about it. It was just literally sideways, backwards. The opposition closed the doors, closed the open doors that would have been there if we'd have moved it quicker forward, and then they just punted it forward. But you've seen this, I don't need to tell you, Nick, what it's like because you've seen it, And I thought I sort of in my own mind demanded an improvement for last night, and I thought if we get a good 5-0 convincing win, then I might be convinced. Otherwise, I'm going to be disappointed. I did not see us losing it. But within the first 10 minutes, I mean, it felt like a National League North dead rubber anyway, for me. Within the first 10 minutes, I just thought, he's got to go. He's got to go. And that was before everything unfolded.
Some of us saw this coming a mile off and got accused of wanting Mark Stock to fail. So you can't win. Some of us said this would happen by about mid-March. I think the trajectory was already set then, despite the run.
Yeah, but I always think it's too early to. I probably said it at the time. It's too early to start those sort of discussions. It's a bit like I referred to it slightly. I don't know if you caught it before when I said leave your light on, because to me it's a bit like take me out. That's the program, isn't it, with Paddy McGuinness?
Yeah.
Let the Rusk see the trust. I don't know. I'm not prepared anything, as you can tell.
Well, I mean, I did prepare something. Look at the fucking state of that. So,
but when Rusk came down the lift, we're all county fans sat in front of him. We've all got a light. As soon as they opened the doors, I reckon 50% of those people turned out their light straight away.
Quite rightly, I think, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I kept mine on. Yeah, exactly. I kept mine on because I thought, well, give him a chance. He's under 23 manager, blah, 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 all the reasons that we spoke about and all the reasons that people have probably got in their heads as well. And then as time's gone on, other people have gone, boo, boo, like that, haven't they? Yeah. And I feel like I'm there at the end. And it was probably the bit, they cut to some VT where he's still going to his grandma's at Christmas and having matching pajamas, where I've gone, that's fine, I'm not having that, boo, like that. And that was probably about 3 weeks ago, I was thinking that.
I love it when that happens on Take Me Out, where some guy comes out and he'll go, oh, you know what, I really love me Nana. And it's like, boo, 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 boo. So, oh, who's behind the lights here, that old Chipman?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I honestly thought he'd be a bit like Nathan Jones at Luton, because he came from the under 23s at Brighton, didn't he? He did an amazing job, and I was just hoping it'd end up be a bit like that. It just suddenly clicked, but there's been nothing this season. It's just been dreadful, hasn't it? From day one, it's been awful. Even the games we won, we did it. We were lucky, weren't we?
Yeah. And the main worry has been the more money we've spent, the worse we've looked, because I can't think. I think pretty much everyone's gone backwards from last season now.
Yeah,
I mean, Alex Reid banged 20 odd goals in last season and can't get a look in, and the people getting a look in ahead of him aren't doing much. Did you
see Alex Reid like the post?
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Says it all, hasn't it?
Yeah, I feel sorry for, and then getting thrown on in the 90th minute yesterday, but with no system or anything, just get on and hope he scores. There's no Yeah, there's a lot of players that are being criminally wasted. That's why I didn't get too excited with the signing last week, because I had no confidence that we're going to use him in a way that shows off his undoubted talents. So I suppose we'll see. Now we've got a new manager coming in. Maybe because that's the first thing they need to do. They need to get a grit, and I think they're going to have to be a manager who can make some big decisions, because there's some big names that should not be in that team.
Or there's big names that, if they're going to be in the team, they need to start pulling the weight as the big name.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think we've got all the tools in, for want of a better phrase. There's some tools in there. No, but I think we've got all the right players. I think we've got the squad, and the quality of the squad is there to do well. It was just being used. I mean, we've said square pegs in round holes a million times, haven't we? It's just the way it's being used. I agree with I can't even pronounce his name. Is it Anthony
Sarcevic? Yeah,
Sarcevic. That. I mean, great signing. My first sort of feeling to that was, well, do we need that? Do we need him? I mean, it reminds me of my mate Jacko, and he listens to it every week. I Jacko. It reminds me when we played Championship Manager as kids. If one of his players got injured, he just bought a new one. That's what he did. I'll just buy a new one. It's like you can't have a squad of 80 players, Jacko. You're gonna get sacked.
It's Neil Young with cash, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's basically it at the moment. That's what it is.
And it needs to get in a grip of. It does. It absolutely does.
Yeah, agreed.
But for all the talk of the recruitment, I mean, I was quite happy with the recruitment in the summer, because I thought we were going to be going forward at the back. And as soon as it became clear that we weren't, then the recruitment was showing up for what it actually was. But it got me in. Obviously, we won't see Rusk's interview from last night. That's never going to see the light of day. That's going to be like found at the home of a deceased paedophile in 40 years' time. You know, like them old Doctor Who episodes that they find. They find the old reels. So that's going to be found in like 40 years' time. That'll be a nice little nugget. We could put it in the tsbw time capsule. But he said in his interview, there's a few quotes that are out on Twitter, and he said, "Oh, I prefer playing forward at the back." I just thought, you fucking liar. No, you don't. You've done it 3 times in a season's worth of games. You've played forward at the back. You do not prefer, unless he does prefer playing forward at the back, and someone else is telling him he can't, which chimes with what Jim Gannon said in his interview after one of the Altrincham games over Christmas last year. He said, "Leave the managing of the team to me," is what he said. So that'd chime with what Rusk was saying last night.
What do you think, James? 4 or 5 at the back? You know,
definitely 4 at the back. I think the problem is we've got too many good players in the forward roles. It's just crazy. It just seems so negative, really. Like, you've got forward players like Crankshaw and Whitfield, and and we're playing 5 at the back. Just seem absolutely crazy. I'm probably a bit like Mike Bassett. I'm more of a 4-4-2 man, to be honest with you. But
2 meter veg.
with the players we've got, it just seemed strange. But I think to your point, Nick, some of the summer recruitment though I thought was a bit strange. Like the likes of Will Fish. I mean, what was that all about?
That poor
and Ben
bugger.
Barkley, for that matter. We never seen Will Fish again, have we? Really, other than in the Cheshire Senior Cup. It just seemed like a crazy signing, really.
Just a comment that's come in. So we probably won't see we probably won't see JK's interview, but I think this Amos Murphy was there.
Yeah, that's where I saw the quotes. Yeah,
yeah. I think Amos is a independent journalist. I think. So yeah, it's a painful read. I've not read it yet. I'm not sure I'm going to go back and read it now, personally.
He's gone, Russ. Get over it. He's not coming back, mate. Just stop going on about him.
It's funny because you know that's my personality. I just cut the cord. It's gone. I just want to know who we're getting next.
Yeah, I bet you were in the garden right before this, weren't you? Burning your Rusk pajamas and duvet set.
Don't make me out to be a massive Ruskite. I just support whoever the manager is. Because I'm a Stockport County supporter.
Until they reveal themselves to be inept.
But yeah, that's the same with every manager that we've ever had. Not that they've been inept, but if they reveal themselves to be inept, then you start to. It's again a bit like Pointless. They start at 100 and then they start to go down with every mistake that they make. Yeah.
You're getting through the primetime TV shows tonight, aren't you? Take me out, Pointless. you want me to do the noise for each one? I can do the pointless noise as well if you want.
Go on then. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get my cat in to do the Netflix thing. The and we sorted. got our little sat. I'm like the guy from Police Academy.
So James, who do you want to see? Who do you want to see come in then?
It's an interesting one. I think a lot of people are saying it on Twitter. I think for me, it's going to be Phil Parkinson, the Altrincham Phil Parkinson. I think.
Yeah, that's a crucial delineation, that isn't it? You need to put out. You got the Altrincham one. Don't worry.
Yeah, the Altrincham, definitely not the Wrexham one. That would be a really interesting, wouldn't it? But yeah, definitely the Altrincham one. One of my mates I work with actually plays for Altrincham, and he actually says that he's a really good coach, real player person as well. So. And you can't get past the job he's done there, 2 promotions, and they're doing phenomenally well in the conference this season. I mean, they're above us. Well, everyone's above us, but they're above us at the moment, aren't they, as well? So I think you can't look past him. Either him or, I don't know, it's probably an unpopular one, but John Askey.
I'd take Askey. It's not a sexy appointment, but he's been there and done it.
Yes, absolutely.
That's already coming through the. Should we play comments bingo every time we mention one? There we go.
Should I get a xylophone out for all the shit ones?
Yeah. Should you want to go through some of the shit ones? Oh, let's have a look. I'm not sure.
I tell you an interesting. I'm sorry, I'm ruining the game.
No, go on.
An interesting one was Michael Appleton.
Yes,
Michael Appleton. A few of my mates, I went to university in Lincoln, and a few of them are Lincoln fans. Thought it was outrageous. Like, why would he leave Lincoln? But I think this is a more exciting challenge than Lincoln.
Well, from what he's been saying in recent weeks, because someone mentioned his name on one of the boards on Saturday during the game. Someone claiming to be in the know. So I had a bit of a look, and he seems a bit unsettled at Lincoln at the moment. I think he's getting to the stage where he thinks he's taking them as far as he can with the money they've got, because he's been moaning about the likes of Wigan and Sunderland in that league and the money they can spend. He said there's a cabal of 5 or 6 teams in that league who are just spending the way out, and it's between the rest of them to just play amongst themselves. And Lincoln are one of them who just aren't. He's had them in a playoff final, hasn't he? And they missed out. So I won't be surprised. I think it's a good little shout. I mean, we've been tempting players down from League One and League Two, so why not go for a manager?
Yeah, and Lincoln as well. Lincoln arguably are a smaller club than us with less potential.
Yeah,
I would agree. And they're not going to get. Well, they might get to the Championship, but they're not going to get much further than that unless they get some significant investment. So, I think this could be a good challenge for someone like him. Certain. I think he does ticks a lot of boxes for me as well.
Here's a couple more then. We'll start with this one. Paul Flatley says Mike Flynn, obviously Newport Mike Flynn, not to be confused with our Mike Flynn, or Graham Alexander.
I'd be very happy with Flynn. I'd be very happy with that. I think for me, Flynn, Parkinson, the Altrincham one, or somewhat. I see someone mention is it Ryan Lowe at Plymouth?
Yeah,
I've seen a couple of people mentioning, but I think that's a longer shot than Appleton from Lincoln, because Plymouth, if you look at geographically, they're a huge club. There's potential there, and I think he'll be in the Championship next season either way, whether it's with Plymouth or someone else. So I don't think that's we might as well have a go, but I just don't want to do a Tottenham where we try and target all these managers that we can't get and then lose out on one we should get. That'd just be very us, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Alexander's at Motherwell, isn't he? I hadn't realised that, because everyone keeps talking about Graham Alexander, but he's actually at Motherwell, which is, I can't see him dropping to us from there, really, personally.
It's too much of a drop. And what are they? Are they in Scottish Prem?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too much of a drop. What about?
Then again, if you're not Scottish, if you're a manager and you're not Scottish, how much loyalty? Graham Alexander?
Yeah, is he not?
Oh, I don't think so. No. I mean, it's a Scottish kind of name, but he's.
I wasn't going off that.
He's a Lancashire lad, isn't he?
Is he? I thought he was. Is he not Scottish? I assumed he was.
You just chat amongst yourselves. I'll have a look.
Okay. What about Steve Cunningham?
Just left Curzon now. No, too big a job. He's a promising manager, but he did play for Scotland. Graham Alexander did, yeah. Yeah, well done, Russ.
Yeah.
You're happy with yourself. He wasn't born there though.
No, and I take your point about his accent as well, but that's what I mean. That's probably where I got it from, that he played for Scotland.
Yeah.
They can play for anywhere, can't they? What about? Here's one for you. Where have I got it? Oh, here we go. What about Dave Conlon?
Safe pair of hands, and he might have a good chance of salvaging back some of that culture that was created over the last 5 years and ripped up. I think he might still have a bit of that in him, hopefully.
And what culture is that?
The one of fair play and not tackling people in frustration and getting sent off and stuff like that. Yeah. That type of thing. Actually having a cohesive plan and looking like the players know what they're meant to do.
Yeah. But can I just caveat that with other managers do have that culture as well. It's not just exclusive to Dave.
But I'm just suggesting that if Dave Conlon, if we put Dave Conlon in charge now, he might be able to salvage some of it back before we have to decide to rip it up and start totally again.
I don't know. I think it's gone, mate. Ash Palmer last night, probably one of the worst players on the pitch. I don't know if you agree with that, James.
Yeah. He was making loads of mistakes. He did not look like Ash Palmer last night at all, did he?
Silly free kicks. He was trapping the ball further than I can kick it. It's just sad to see, really.
I think that's the thing with Rusk. You think he's obviously there's that line is there being a good coach and a good manager. And by all counts, he's a good coach. But then again, you see how some of our players have gone off the boil in the last few weeks, and you even question that. The likes of Alex Reid, the likes of Ash Palmer, the John Rooney. They're just nothing like they were last season at all, are they? They look like half the players, all of them.
Yeah, which goes back to what you said, Nick, the degradation. Again, I know you didn't say that word, but you sort of said it, didn't you? What about, there's 2 more comments on the managers here, and then we'll get into some more. Pete Wild.
Yeah, that'd do for me. But yeah, as Sides pointed out, he's a big mate of Jim's, and I think he'll know the ins and outs of what's going on. I think that might put him off. I don't think he'll want to work with a director of football who's binned off one of his mates.
Yeah, possibly. I know. Pete Wild had a bit of that at Oldham as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I reckon he's settled at Halifax. There, he's doing another one doing a very good job on not a massive budget.
Yeah. What about if we break barriers, trailblaze, first female manager in English football, in English men's football? I think it would be, wouldn't it?
That'd boil the piss of all the right people. So I'm all for that.
Are we ready for a female manager? On a personal level, I don't think we are yet. I don't mean county. I mean just general English men's football. But if that what's she called? The pundit that's risen up recently, the former England manager, Emma
Hayes.
Emma Hayes. Get her in a changing room full of our lads, and she'll fucking tear him a new one. I'm pretty sure of that. So she'll get them playing. So yeah, that's a good point though, and maybe that's another one for another time.
In any other industry, you have a female bosses, don't you? So why not in football? There's no reason to say they can't do the job, and you know what? We might get a lot of admiring fans for doing it. It would take big balls to do it, quite literally. But I think it'd be quite interesting.
We'd have people calling us woke, though, and as we all know, that's the worst insult you can possibly receive. So.
We've got a comment here, just picking out something that I said. Surprised that I think County are bigger than Lincoln. I know I stand by it. I mean, just through growing up, we've always been above them in league stature, I would say. It's only recent times, probably last 10 years, since we've dropped out, that they've been above us. The ground is nowhere near as big as ours, I don't think, unless they built on it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think about similar. I think theirs might be slightly bigger now. They've had work done recently.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So maybe over time they have grown bigger than us, but certainly in my mind.
Yeah, historically, I see them as our same level as us, really.
Yeah, but then,
sorry, Ross.
I was going to say, in my mind, Oldham are a much bigger club than us, but in reality, they're not, are they? I'm just harking back to like the days that they started in the Prem and stuff like that. So yeah, I've probably got. I'm all skewed on this since we dropped out to non-league. It's just completely gone skew for me. Sorry, James. What was you about to say?
No, I was going to say. I mean, people laugh at me all the time, but I say County really. It was big as the likes of Bournemouth. Only they went one way and we went the other. You know, and someone ripped the arse out of us and invested in Bournemouth, and they went to the Premier League. You wouldn't think it now, but we used to be in the same league as them and above them and do it, you know. So I'd take the point on Lincoln. I mean, I personally think we are a bigger club. I think we're a bigger club than a lot of the teams in the EFL at the moment. So I think we're an exciting challenge for anyone. But of course, I'm biased. I'm a County fan.
Yeah.
a lot of people saying Challoner and is extremely qualified, but I don't know. I've just never taken to him. I don't know if it's the challenge on Martin Pringle when he was playing for us and the fact he was such a poor player for us. I don't know. It does make me laugh though when people suggest Challoner and go, "Oh, he knows the club." It's like he played for us for a couple of years, like 2 decades ago. That doesn't mean you know the club.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about Challoner. So just there's something about him I just don't like.
Yes, same.
I mean, he's beat us, yeah, great. And when he was at Fylde as well, he beat us, I think, as well. So yeah, just something about him I don't like. Plus, let's not forget he took Fylde all the way back down as well. Did he?
I'm tuning in next week when we've appointed him.
Yeah. We love you, Dave.
You just know it's going to happen, don't you? You just know. Yeah, we're getting lots of comments in here. Thanks everybody. We've already mentioned Flynn. We've already mentioned Phil Parkinson. Gary Johnson is one as well that's come through. No, I don't understand why he wouldn't leave Torquay, would he? Anyway, and would we want him?
He's kind of blotted his copybook this. He did well last season. Well, I say did well. They bottled it, didn't they? In the end, and he's not really recaptured that since then. They seem to be only going one way now. Another silly one, Sol Campbell.
Well, that was on your ding ding ding.
Let's have. It's not the thing when you open the door of a Chinese takeaway. You know, when you open it, it's got a little bell attached to the door, and you have to go through the strips.
Yeah.
Let's appoint Sol Campbell, and then in 12 months' time, we can go through a lengthy court battle with him. That's something to look forward to, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I'm not too sure who, to be honest. I'm not paid to look at other managers. That's their job, innit? Yeah, some of the names you mentioned do stand out for me though. You know, Flynn, and Appleton would be good. But yeah, I don't know.
Another one is McMahon at Dagenham. Who might be a bit of a outside. That might be another tough one. Is he going to want to leave there? But he's one that Sam Byrne mentioned before. Not right. Like any concrete links or anything. Just someone that he's a fan of.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah. I hear that straight away and think of Dagenham and think, well, why would he? He's got something good going there. Why would he want to give that?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Well,
if he's going to bring McCallum with him.
Well, yeah. We're not in the market for McCallums. We're in the market for League One captains. Okay. That's what we're in the market for, apparently.
As long as they're in a position where we've already got 86 other players. It's all right, though, because there's like 9 teams above us now, so there's still a few to send players out to. But Tom Walker on loan now at a team above us. Another nonsensical signing. And the thing with Walker and Newby, we actually had them on loan. We did try before you buy and still bought them.
Yeah.
And just decided not to bother with them.
That just smacks to me of answering to the numbers rather than answering to actual football knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Well, we're on signings. There's something I wanted to point out about the Sarcevic signing. In the thing on the website announcing it, the little article, Simon Wilson said something that made my piss boil. in the reaction to it. He said, so I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it to hand, but hopefully this will show our fans that we're committed to bringing players in, as if that's what people have been whinging about. It just struck me as incredibly tone deaf that he's gone on the message boards and thought, oh, they're pissed off because we're not signing anyone. Oh, I'll tell them. But then we sacked the manager today, and we don't get Simon Wilson's insight there when it's his doing. You know, it's his man. It'd be interesting to hear his insight on where it's gone wrong. I mean, if you look back to Notts County on Saturday, going into that game, their fans were pretty much talking the same way we have been. Mm-hmm. But the difference was their manager was coming out doing interviews, and he actually had the tactics board up on the screen during his interview, and he's saying what they're trying to do. And I'm not saying that's the way to go. I mean, we're not even describing opposition goals on tweets anymore, just in case someone notices it and works out a weakness. So I doubt. Yeah, it's very, very strange though. Very odd. And also the use of on the full-time tweet last night, the use of 10-man county.
Yeah, I mean,
it was for a minute. You know, like that's made a difference.
Yeah, again, it felt like there was no strategy with Rusk, did it, at all? Mm. It feels a bit like Ole Solskjaer at United. He's got all the gear, no idea, right? Yeah. He's got all these players to choose from, but just doesn't know how to set them up, you know, how to change it. He just felt like a rabbit in the headlights, and that's what it felt like with Rusk. He had no confidence that he could change things when we were losing, and that was the problem. That's what filled you with no confidence at all, really. But yeah, no, I take that as well.
It's going back to something you said before, Nick, about Simon Wilson and him saying that it shows that we're committed to making big signings. I don't know if you used the word big.
Along them lines,
yeah. That to me again, that just smacks of someone who, or an organisation that isn't close to its fan base. Because if we haven't been shouting for big signings, okay, if we get them, we're quite happy. We're not like Man United where we're complaining about the lack of investment in the team, in the squad. Why would you come out and say that if that's not true? I don't get that. That to me is there's probably a list. There's a predetermined template of what you can say when you've just signed a player. Yeah. I'll choose that one. That'll do. Yeah, doesn't it? You know.
I mean, I don't think anyone's been calling for more big signings. I think people want to see us get the best out of the 84 players we have got. I think that would be a start.
Yeah, and a new manager comes in, and invariably, I guess they recall everyone back because they want to see, if they can, because they want to see what they've got, take stock, and see what they need to do next. So we could see Walker, Newby back. Maynard, maybe.
Stop.
There's certainly a case for Stop being brought back because I don't think Friars has been any better. Probably worse than Stop would have been. And Ethan Pye had one great game, and we've not seen him since.
Yeah.
And then we went back to a left-footed, three right-footers in a back three. We went back to.
On Saturday,
that's what annoyed me the most. It felt like he was learning. So we got to set, like against Wrexham, we set up with like wingers, playing on the wings. You know what I mean? And got the win against Wrexham. All right, it was a close one. It kind of scraped it. But then he goes and takes Whitfield off. So there were points in the last few weeks where he thought, oh, he is learning. It might be all right. And then Whitfield gets taken off last night when we were chasing. Saturday, just decided to go without a striker at 2-0 down. It's just it's stuff you wouldn't see on a Sunday morning. Weird.
What do you make of all that, James? This sort of under Rusk, this incessant need to play your best players all the time, even if they're in wrong positions.
Well, it just shows, doesn't it? There's other stuff going on at play that we don't know about. I mean, is he choosing the team? Is he just coaching them? Because he just felt like we bring a player in, he's got to play. Like the first game of the season, Will Fish, he was clearly out of his depth on that game.
You could say he was a fish out of water.
I must admit, I was looking forward to seeing Fish and Pie play together. So Fish Pie.
Why haven't I heard that one before? Why haven't I heard that one before?
Thought I'd be right up your street, that was.
Yeah.
Fish Pie and Friars, but there's a...
Hey, it's Ross Fish Pie and Friars.
Yes, absolutely, yes. I actually put that on Twitter and someone pointed it out, which I think is absolutely genius. But no, I mean, obviously, clearly, it is other people making those decisions, isn't it? I think, like, to insist on bringing players in, really, and playing them and trying to fit them into a system. I mean, bringing all the defenders in the summer blew my mind. It was the strongest part of our team last season. Yeah. We weren't conceding many goals. Hogan played well last season with Palmer, and it was like, why did we need 3 more centre backs? It just made no sense at all. I personally thought the summer recruitment was just completely crazy. I thought it made no sense at all. Whitfield, yeah, obviously brilliant signing, but the rest, didn't make much sense. And it's Crankshaw's been a good signing for us. Obviously, he looks at the class above, but it's felt very weird, very sporadic signings over the summer. Really, it felt a bit like the match day. There's just no strategy behind it at all.
Yeah,
I think what you said, Nick's right. I feel like it was almost like the Ronaldo signing for United. Did they need him? Probably not, right? But he was there, he was available, and they got him. A bit like we did with Sarcevic, he suddenly became available, and it's like, oh, we'll have him and bring him in, and that's how it feels, really.
Yeah,
it frightens me.
Good points. I mean, my theory is that he came in, obviously an under-23 manager. Is there such thing as an under-23 manager? Is my first question, because I think the coach is. So he's a coach, he's probably a mentor, and that's what he does. He gets the best out of young players and he coaches them. Now, when you come into somewhere like Stockport County, it's results-based, which under-23s isn't. So you've got to manage players, you've got to manage egos, you've got to manage human beings. So it feels like he couldn't get a grip of that. So he was probably satisfying a lot of players and playing them in places that we didn't need them playing, but also wanting his little, I won't call them pet projects, but, with us, it seems like he's had the pick of the under-23 market and he's gone, oh, brilliant. I'll get Reiki then. Can you get me Reiki? Because he's class and I want to be able to work with him and I want to be able to get the best out of him and he'll do us right. Will Fish, United's under-23 captain. There's another one. I'll have him as well. But
do you think they were Rusk signings, though? I don't think they were.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they were Rusk targets, and Wilson and whoever have gone off to sign them.
I think Will Fish was just a dick swinging exercise by Simon Wilson. I stand by that.
But dick swinging to who? Who's going to be?
So, well, I've got rid of Gannon, but look, we've got a player from Man United here. Like that's never happened before. That's how it looks to me.
Yeah, but that's if that's the case, then right, that's very, very stupid because fans aren't stupid. If he comes in and he doesn't play well as an under-23 Man United captain, or if he doesn't play, people straight away are going to go, well, what the fuck you brought him in for? Dick swinging or not, it's irrelevant. It looks good when you announce it on Twitter and things, doesn't it? It looks really impressive. But as soon as he doesn't start playing, or as soon as he plays and he's out of his depth, then fans are going to look at it. Us three will look at it and go, what the fuck? Everybody will do that.
I'd imagine Barkley and Collar were definitely Rusk signings, given he's worked with them before. But the rest of them, you could, your guess is as good as mine.
Well, he's probably. I think they said it in one of the interviews, didn't they? That Rusk has a criteria. Rusk will have a short. He'll go. This is what I need. I need a midfield. It's almost like Football Manager, fucking ridiculously enough. I need a right-sided midfielder. I want it to be fast. I want it to do this. I want it to do that. Blah 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 blah. And all of the Moneyball stuff will come into play, and that's what Wilson will go and find with his scouting team. And the scouting teams will probably have their own, because they actually go out and scout. They'll have their own targets that they'll know as well.
Well, yeah, that's what it works. Because I don't think like signing the likes of Sarcevic and Madden and what have you is good scouting. If you'd said to me, "Oh, right, we've got £1 million to spend, get some players from the Football League," they're probably the first ones I'd mention, just as good Football League players. I think we've obviously got the connections in there somewhere to know something's gone on behind the scenes. Obviously that's in place. But other than that, I don't think it's magnificent scouting to go out and just chuck money at like basically statistically the best striker in the Football League. I don't think it's particularly out there and mental. It's great that we got him if we're going to use him right and get the best out of him. But yeah.
What wasn't just commenting on Sarcevic? Anthony, or Antonio, as somebody keeps on calling him on Twitter.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, you made me forget now. That's it. Wasn't he a long-term target anyway?
It's someone we've been interested in for a while, like for about 10 years on and off, like when he's been available several times, yeah. But
he played for Woodley, didn't he? He's a Stockport lad, I think.
Yeah. So I take your point, Nick, on maybe others, but I know that Anthony Sarcevic, we've had our eye on him for a long time. The others, I mean, look, it comes off sometimes, doesn't it? Crankshaw's been brilliant. In fact, just sort of honing in on Crankshaw a second, we've had a couple of comments from Anthony Winstanley, who, funnily enough, weirdly, I met at the Brinnington Community Centre because he plays indoor bowls just after my kids play Yu-Gi-Oh Club, which is fucking weird, isn't it? He just came in and he went, I was like, oh, you, like that Spider-Man gif.
I'm just going to write that down for the episode title. What is it? Yu-Gi-Oh Club.
Yeah, and indoor bowls.
And indoor bowls sorted, yeah. Right.
So he called out Crankshaw as a positive last night, which the goal, I don't know if you've seen the goal.
I've seen the goal.
If we can get the best out of him, and this is what, again, Amos Murphy comments and says, he's a real star. If we get a manager that can get the most out of him, he will be him on one wing and Whitfield on the other. And that's why I said before, we've got the players. It's just getting them to play.
Yeah. I mean, Crankshaw and Whitfield, just imagine them two at the best. Just imagine that. Everyone's going to be shit scared of us. But it just looks recently like they've had that coached out of them. I think, like Salvin Hales, remember how exciting he was last season? The blistering pace. You wouldn't think he had any pace to look at him now. I think it's just been no risks being taken.
Yeah. You're going to say his pace is still there, isn't it?
It's still there, but you wouldn't think so. Just to look at him going about. Say if you watch last night's game for the whole 90 minutes and just focused on him, you wouldn't look at him and think, oh, he's got a proper burst of pace on him because he just didn't get a chance to do it.
No, I think it's the midfield area we need to sort out fucking quick. Because honestly, on Saturday, did you go on Saturday, James? Did you go to Notts?
I didn't go on Saturday. I knew what was going to happen on Saturday, so I avoided it like the plague, to be honest. But no.
On Saturday, their number 6, O'Brien. I don't. He looked like I say old. I mean, I'm 40. He looked like an older footballer to me. But they took him off after what I think 70, 75. Someone might correct me on that. He had the freedom of Nottingham. Honestly, he was that tired after 70 or 75 because he had the ball that much. He was just unopposed most of it. I was like, why is no? So when they got the ball, we did not press them. We let them have it. And then when we had the ball, we took so much time on it. They just pressed us. I was just like, what are you doing?
With our pressing, though, you know when you hear a word somewhere and then start using it all the time, like normally wrongly, like you when you first heard sesquippedalious or whatever, that word you always say.
Sesquippedalious.
I say you always say like it's your catchphrase. But yeah, I think that's what's happened with us. I think Russ had heard about pressing somewhere. He's like heard him talking about it, the pundits on telly, like mentioning pressing. He's just like, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try and bring that in because no one seems to have a clue what the pressing thing is. You get the odd player who'll charge a defender down, but other than that, it's just everyone's looking at each other.
I'd say it's the opposite. I'd say he's heard it on Match of the Day pressing and has thought, yeah, this pressing's popular. I'm going to do things differently and not press.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I mean, I'll hold my hands up. I'll openly admit I got behind him 100%, as we should, as managers. But as time has gone on, and I've given him some get out of jail free cards. But as time's gone on, recently, last 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks, it was only going one way.
Yeah.
Have you watched that Ted Lasso yet? on Apple TV.
No.
It's absolutely brilliant. Honestly, it reminded me of Ted Lasso. Like this American coach, obviously he's not American, but he comes in, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But the players start to really like him and he starts to churn out results. I thought it was going to go a bit like that. He seems like a really nice guy. And the weird thing is his assistant manager's called Coach Beard. No word of a lie. And I thought this is actually written about Simon Rusk. And I thought it was going to turn in like that, but it just didn't. Totally gutted really, but we move on.
I think if Simon Rusk and our team was Mighty Ducks, I wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, I think it's just. I mean, it's a shame, isn't it? And it's just came at the wrong time for him. He's not. He's clearly an under-23 manager, and some people are in football. They are sort of not destined, but that's what they do. Being part of the county ladies setup, I had long conversations with Ronnie Green, the manager, and funnily enough, his name was shortlisted for the Wrexham job, the men's Wrexham job, back when he had the women's team. And we were talking on the coach away to Newcastle or something. He goes, once you've got into women's football, you cannot. It's pretty much really impossible, to go back into men's football because you've got the tag. That's what you know. You've left the game, and maybe it's the same with under 23s. He's probably tried this, like a fish out of water, to go into senior management. Maybe under 23s and the world of under 23s and developing players is just for him. And I'm sure. James and Nick speak for you two that obviously wish him well.
Oh yeah,
thanks for his efforts. Yeah. He's probably. I don't know. Has he been? Has there been? I mean, we'll send him off with our regards.
Because he'll definitely be watching.
Well,
after the day in the last few weeks,
you never know.
He's thinking, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch them lads talking about me for an hour.
Tell you what, it's a long old train journey back to Brighton. Yeah.
I imagine he's not on a train. I imagine he just gets into one of Mark McGee's saddlebags, and they just walk.
Yeah. You don't think Stott's laid on the plane for him, or do you?
Yeah, the Vita jet.
The Vita jet, yeah.
Well, we're on Stott. What we should do with his money?
Okay. What we should do with his money.
All this, yeah, what we should do, 'cause it's up to us. Forget all this talk of like getting ex-manager. Let's just get a time machine made and go back to like mid-January. Anyone with me?
Yeah.
Let's just pretend this last 9 months. Yeah, Russ doesn't fancy having that successful manager with an identity and a good culture back. So we're not. Sorry, Mark, we don't want the time machine, mate. It's all right.
I don't know. I just think you're stirring shit.
I just wish the last 9 months hadn't happened. I don't think that's stirring shit. I think a lot of people will wish the last 9 months haven't happened.
I think a lot of people can agree that it was a gamble that hasn't paid off.
Yeah. It was a gamble that didn't need to be made that hasn't paid off as well. So it's a double whammy of not paying off.
Do you think it was inevitable though? Like you always want your own people in, don't you? It's like any business, you always want your own people.
Yeah.
And it probably felt like at some point, even though in our eyes he was absolutely the right manager for the job, it was going to happen at some point. They were waiting for the opportunity to get rid of him, I reckon.
Yeah. Simon Wilson playing football manager is far more important than anything that's been built up over 5 or 6 years, as we've seen. But there's still people saying like, "Oh, there must have been a big incident that's happened. Some big thing must have happened." It's like, well, it's obviously not. Everything that we've seen since then, kind of, you can make your own conclusions.
It makes you think though. They thought if we're going to do it, we'll do it during lockdown, when there's not going to be thousands of fans like baying for a blood. On a Saturday.
That's very snide, and also the fact that a week before he went, Simon Wilson was crawling up his ass on Sky Sports and in the national press saying Jim's the way to do it. We're following what he does, and then to do that when he was already planning, he was already in talks with Rusk at that point, and it's like, yeah, I don't know. Waitrose McKnight. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it on air now and try and get that some traction. McKnight in an M&S suit.
Have you seen McKnight? And there's a podcast somewhere with McKnight and one the same.
See, that's a worry for me. Yeah, that's a worry for me that he's like Simon Wilson apparently did like due diligence for the takeover, and it's the fact he's kind of looked into the fans and what makes us tick, and then still thought, I know, I'll go and do an interview with Ryan McKnight and be all matey with him. I don't know, but no one else seems bothered by that. I've been banging my head against that wall for about 6 months, and no one's asked. So,
and their other good friend, who you might not know the name of, is Tony Sharkey, which sounds dodgy anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, Tony Sharkey, the loan shark.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Tony Sharkey's not a loan shark. Just in case anyone, I don't want to get sued or anything. I've been very careful with how I've used my words tonight.
He's allegedly a loan shark.
Yeah.
No, he's not even allegedly, is it? What am I saying? Yeah. No.
Allegedly, or in your opinion, either is fine.
Yeah. Moving on then, because we've done the Jimbo stuff. We've done 10 months of that. What next? So I know you said about just picking up again on something you just said, Nick, about already having made contact with Rusk. Do you think that we've already made contact with the next manager?
Yes. I'm 99.9% certain. And I don't think we've just made contact with one. I think there's a few. From speaking to people who are normally spot on, yeah. I could probably tell you who they are as well. I think I have a good guess at who they are.
Well, don't do that.
Oh no, it won't be. No. Yeah.
But I'd be tempted.
That's why I didn't. That's why I said
I
could tell you and then didn't. Yeah.
But
it's like saying, I could like rape and kill you right now if I wanted.
But don't do that.
Just put it straight away.
I would let this job advert run and see who applied.
Are we advertising it this time then?
Well, they must be.
Novel.
They must be, surely. Oh, do they even have to advertise anymore? Is it not a case of people just the football world just knows it's a job that's going?
Yeah, and obviously you'll be getting your Football Manager CV together, I'd imagine, any day now.
No, it's not my style. That
I'd back you. Would you get me in as one of your assistants, one of your cast of thousands in the back room?
Would I get you in as one of my assistants? Probably not. No.
Any reason why? Is it just how I am as a person?
you haven't even got your level 1, have you? So what am I supposed to do with that? But James has got his level 1, haven't you, James?
No, I haven't.
Oh, fucking hell.
I've got a cycling proficiency.
Yes. All right, fitness coach then. There you go.
And I fished a brick out of Avondale Baths in my pajamas.
Avondale Baths. Stockport Academy now into it. I think you'll know. Find out. Yeah, we're coming to the end because I've got to go out.
Wait, where are you going? Tell everyone where you're going, Russ.
I'm not telling everybody where I'm going, but I'm going to say that I'm going out.
To do, yeah.
I'm not that this is that big that we're going to get fucking swamped. But we're going to a comedy club, and when she booked it, I thought, oh, that'll be the only comedy club I'm going to this week.
Who's she? The cat's mother?
Oh, the wife, Claire.
The wife. It's weird, wife, isn't it? A mate of mine got married during lockdown, and then I've actually heard him say, "Oh, have you met my wife?" It's like my wife.
It does sound weird when you first get married. It sounds weird. Yeah. You're married, aren't you, James?
I am.
Yeah, it does sound weird when you first do it.
It does. Yeah.
You're my wife nowadays.
So yeah, it's gone fast. I think these hours go fast when we're on the pod. So James, what do you reckon then? What do you reckon for the season? I know we spoke a lot about new managers and stuff. What would be a success now for you?
Promotion. We've got to get promoted, haven't we, this season? There's no question. Anything but is a disaster. So I'd like to think now. I think we'll win on Saturday. I think obviously the players will definitely play for Dave, won't they, on Saturday? I think we'll probably have a new manager at Bolton. I quite fancy us to get a result at Bolton, I'll be honest. I think, I didn't maybe under us, but I'm starting to think we might get something now. And then hopefully we'll stabilise and make a real push for it. I worry about Chesterfield and Grimsby, though. I think they look good. And I think if we go up, it's going to be via the playoffs, which I dread. But that's what I'm hoping. I think anything but going up is going to be a complete disaster, really. Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be championship in 30 years, isn't it, at this rate?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, can't fault a word of that. Spot on.
Yeah, I mean the good news is that Wrexham. Oh, is it good news? Wrexham aren't doing anything, and they're probably looking at about the same as us, aren't they? So
Well, we best get a move on getting a manager then before there's a bidding war going on.
Well,
yeah,
their
right.
owners are over, aren't they, at the moment? So
Yeah.
if they're going to do the deed and they lose on Saturday, I think it's probably going to be now, isn't it? Really, while they're in the country.
I think they'll give him the season, and I think that'd be only fair because we're forgetting that they're a year behind us, as we've been at pains to say on pretty much every podcast. In terms of like the investment, they're a year behind in terms of building a squad. We need to make sure the appointment we make kind of keeps us a year ahead.
Yeah. Okay, good stuff. Bit of admin before we go. If you're watching this, because I know the numbers have shown that a lot of you are, so thanks to everybody that's tuned in live. Do give it a like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. From next week, we'll be YouTube only. So we're not going to be going live on Facebook or Twitter. So it'll be YouTube only. Obviously, get all our content on the FanHub app. If you're not on that already, do get on that. And there are a lot of codes going around to get into that, and you can consume all of our blog, podcast, and live YouTube show on there. Geordie Hatter's Away Day show. How did that go, Nick, on Saturday, by the way? I heard a bit of it. I couldn't listen to all of it, but I heard a bit of it.
Oh, you got a mention as well, mate. Did you hear that bit? Oh, well, you can go and listen back. Just go
which I will be doing. Yes,
go to Mixer/the Geordie Hatter. Is it Geordie Hatter or the Geordie Hatter? Anyway, the links are all on our page. It was very good. And then after that, I went on Absolute Radio because we were the Glory Hunters team of choice on Rock and Roll Football. Bit awkward because the two lads hosting it, Notts Forest fans, and really didn't want to be supporting Notts County next week. But now they are. But you can listen back to that on podcast apps. It's out as a podcast, and I think I'm like about 10 minutes in talking county and recycling material that's been used on this show.
Good stuff. What else? There was something else I wanted to mention, Nick. What was it? Oh, yeah, that's it. We've not done the academy and ladies section because this superseded it. Obviously, a managerial change supersedes everything at County. And we have got some good some guests lined up as well. We've got Sam Byrne lined up to come on, and Mark Brockbank, who is the father of an academy goalkeeper of ours and also a massive County fan.
Hopefully, Sam Byrne will be next week. We're hoping new manager chat with Sam Byrne because I'd imagine they'll probably be in place by then. You'd hope.
I feel like the Simon Rusk here. I'll be honest. I followed Steve Bellis last week, and I've got Sam Byrne next week. So I mean, it's. I'll be that shit guy in the middle, right?
Oh, no! Don't think like that. None of our... I know what it looks like. No, none of our guests. You're a fan guest that's come on to chew the fat with us on all things County. It's not about status. It's not about status. None of us. It's not about status.
I'm only joking.
Right. Anything? Have we forgotten anything, Nick? I always ask this.
We've probably forgotten everything. I'll be messaging you all night now with we forgot this, we forgot that, we forgot this. And you'll be like, Nick, I'm just trying to enjoy some live comedy. Leave me alone, man.
James, have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I've loved it. Thanks for inviting me on, and I'll do it again if you want me.
No problem, yeah.
That's my mate from uni.
Yeah, there you go.
I need to start doing that, paying people to say that.
Yes. And because of that very comment, you're invited back to come on again because you talk a lot of sense, James. So, yeah.
Great. Can I come to Dave Challoner week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to. No, I would. I'd love to come back, definitely.
Quality.
No, good stuff. Right, and then all that's left for me to say is thanks to everybody for watching, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, thanks for listening. It means a lot. Yeah, anything more to say, Nick, before we close?
We didn't start the fire. That's in my head now. That's it. Done. Done.
Very good. I like it. Right. Cheers, everybody. See you later.
Thank you.
This is the Scarf Bergara War, a Stockport County fan-created podcast, blog, YouTube live show and website. Find us at thescarfbergarawar.co.uk. For county fans, by county fans.